Hey everybody, welcome to the Health Corner. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing my 3-week update. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, throw up those thumbs, and leave a comment below. Now, this video is going to be a little bit late. I've been trying to get this video out for a little bit of time here, actually all week. And it started because last weekend I had my clean foods video wouldn't render. I had to cut it into 2 pieces, which then pushed the schedule out further. Then I had 2 other videos I was planning on doing, and those got pushed further and further. And so then I was going to do this 2 days ago, but it was Game 5 of the National League Divisional Series with the Cubs and the Nationals. So I was going to shoot this a couple days ago, but it was Game 5 of the National League Divisional Series, which was a win-or-go-home game for the Cubs. It was intense. It was crazy. And so I was like glued to that game. And then I was going to do this last night, and this little guy right here has made this a huge challenge because I'm trying to get good, clean audio and make good content, and he makes a lot of noise. I love him dearly, but he's still young and doesn't listen when I say, shh, we're rolling. But in any case, good news, Cubs won, so we're moving on to the next series. So the beard continues. I get to keep growing the beard, even though it itches like crazy, but I get to continue the beard, the playoff beard. And we're going to continue the process. And by the time you see this, I am actually probably either going to be the day before or the last day of my 28-day clean eating challenge. But I still want to take the time and talk a little bit about week 3. I'm going to give you some updates on where we were, show you my weigh-in that I did on Monday, and talk a little bit about the challenges and the successes. So first, let's talk about the challenges. Week 3 was probably the hardest week I've had, and that is because of the Chicago Cubs and the playoffs. If you're not a hardcore fan of a team, you may not fully understand this, but my wife and I put a lot of energy into the Cubs. I mean, it's something that is a big, big part of our lives. So much so, our wedding was actually themed around baseball and the Cubs. I asked JD to marry me inside Wrigley Field where the Cubs play. And so it's a big part. I mean, we watch, I would say, 90% of all the games. If we're not watching, we're certainly keeping track of them on our phones or via the news, Twitter, etc. And so it's a big part. So when they get to the playoffs, it's just so nerve-wracking. Even if we don't have high expectations for the season or for the playoffs, it's just so nerve-wracking. And that is why in the past I've always turned to alcohol because junk food because it's easy to just gorge and have those comfort foods and go to the bar and actually helps take the stress off when you're not at home. You're kind of out with other people at a bar. So that's been a challenge this week. Additionally, as I mentioned, my employee resigned and put her 2-week notice in, which was a challenge for me. Her work was great. That what she does for the team is amazing. But generally, I like her as a person. I mean, she's great to be around, and she's a nice person, and has become a friend. And I'm certainly going to miss seeing her every day at the office. But that all being said, those were some of the challenges. Additionally, there was a lot of diet sabotage going on this week, and not just, I'm not talking about even me. I'm talking about the people around me. The further you get into this program, and I plan to do a whole video around diet sabotagers, but the further we get into these the further we get into this program, the more that I see the diet sabotage. And just a quick story, I had an all-day meeting in the conference room, and I was only able to get my breakfast in, and so I missed a snack. It's getting, past lunchtime. I'm getting hungry, and they bring in sandwiches. And which shouldn't be any big deal, except for they brought one in for everybody, and mine was like an avocado, turkey, bacon on bread sandwich, and clearly I couldn't eat that. So, but it was hard because it was right there in front of me. But I ended up just excusing myself, going and making a shake, having my shake and my snack at the same time. But those are the little things that happen, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you must be on some sort of cleanse, haha!" And, "Oh, these cookies are so good," as they're devouring them, and those are the kind of sabotages that happen, and some are conscious and some are, subconscious that are happening around you when you're doing a program. So it was a tough week, but I made it through, so I had some challenges, but some positives. I'm down 2 notches on my belt, so I actually am down 2 notches. I feel good. My energy is probably as high as it's ever been. I feel fantastic, actually. And I can see it. I can see it in my jawline. I can see it under the bags under my eyes. They're not quite as pronounced and puffy. My skin is clearer. You can just tell, like, I feel like I just feel better. And so you can tell that the toxins have left my body. I feel clean. I feel healthy. And I've really enjoyed the changes I've made. So much so that I do plan after week 4 and going forward to continue clean eating and kind of following an 80-20 rule where 80% of the time I'm clean and 20% I allow myself a cheat. So another area I'm seeing gains is in my wallet. My overall food expenses are down while my grocery bill is up because for whatever reason in the United States, and maybe this is everywhere in the world, I can't speak to it, eating clean costs more. Having organic vegetables and berries costs more money. Eating free-range chicken costs more money. We pay more for healthier, cleaner foods. And so, yeah, my grocery bill is up, but my overall food expenses are lower because I'm not eating that $10 to $12 lunch. When you go do fast food, it's rare to find a $5 or $7 lunch. It's typically $8, $9, $10. So you eliminate that. My breakfasts I'm not going to Starbucks and having that $7 coffee and butter croissant. I'm not getting that 12-pack every weekend. I'm not getting a bottle of whiskey or vodka or whatever alcohol I want to drink that can be anywhere from $20 to $30 to $45. And so by eliminating all of that, my overall food bill has gone down. Additionally, my wife and I, we really haven't been going out to dinners. And that's because it's really hard to go out and eat clean because most restaurants don't cater to clean eating. They get their cheaper ingredients so that they can make more profit. Because I've eliminated all of that, my food budget is down. And so that's a nice gain to see and to have. A lot of people will tell you when you start talking about eating clean, the first thing they say is, oh, it's more expensive. Well, the reality is yes, the grocery bill might go up, but your overall food expenses will probably come down. But I would rather pay now to eat clean than in the future when I've got, some kind of, cancer or illness because of all the toxins I put in my body. So why don't we step on the scale and see what that gain looks like. So there it is. I lost another pound. So I was really hoping to have 2 or 3 pounds. And so I had to kind of ask myself on Monday when I weighed in, why did I only hit 1 pound? And the challenge that I'm running into is my meal schedule. I'm not eating every 2.5 to 3 hours like I'm supposed to. And I'm also probably because of that not hitting my 1,500 calorie mark. So week 4, I'm hoping I can see a little better gains, but that's definitely been a challenge as I go from lunch to breakfast without that snack in between. It was a lot easier the first 2 weeks because when you're hungry, you remember to eat. When you're not hungry, which I found in week 3, I'm not hungry as much. It's a lot easier to skip those little snacks, which help your blood sugar and metabolism moving. Otherwise, I feel still great. I'm not just focused on what we see on the scale. I'm just focused on the overall thing. And, the last thing I'd like to say before I kind of wrap this up is, I do want to remind everybody, I didn't do this just to lose 15 to 20 pounds. I mean, that was my goal. I'm hoping to lose 15 to 20 pounds. But I want to remind everybody that the way I feel like we should all be looking at weight loss is, a lot of people think I got to lose weight to get healthy. And I really think it's important to start saying, I want to get healthy, which will then drive weight loss. Because when you're healthy and you're eating healthy, your activity goes up, your toxins come out of your body, you're not storing fat cells to protect your vital organs. It allows those things to melt off easier and you become healthier. And the healthier you get, your weight loss will follow. And so that's something I want to say is, it's about creating health gains and not just weight loss. This isn't a weight loss program. This is a life change that I have undertaken. It hasn't been easy. 28 days of eliminating a bunch of ingredients is not easy. It's a challenge, but I feel so good in doing it. And I plan, like I said, to follow an 80-20 rule going forward. And I still hope I can hit that 15 pounds. I may not. I may only end up at 13, 14. We'll see at the end of week 4 and we'll go from there. So I think that's about all I have today. So I feel good. Just to kind of summarize, I feel great. I look better. You can see it in my face. My playoff beard, although I did notice I've got some gray going on right here in my playoff beard. Not liking that so much. But all in all, I'm down 2 notches on my belt. My food budget's down. My overall feeling is good. My buddy who's been doing this with me has been giving me some great stories. He's down almost 20 pounds. He's had some challenges that he's overcome. Super proud of him. And ultimately, in the end, I would recommend this clean eating program to anybody that's serious and willing to get dedicated, really, really willing to get healthy and have health gains. This would be a good program for them. Otherwise, until next time, guys, remember to make smart eating decisions.